What's up? Semen retention. A man must become self sufficient emotionally in order to attract the right things in his life. A lot of times, you will hear you know how you hear the saying like, when you try to chase things, you repel it, but when you let things come to you, you attract it. I don't know if that's the exact saying, but basically the people who chase or the thirsty or another saying is like the thirsty never get, the drink. I don't know exactly the perfect analogies for this, but basically when you chase stuff, it's harder to get it, and it's like gonna run from you. And the things you like you let come to you, you know what I'm saying? You attract it, and I think that you know it's a when it comes to, I feel like, dating and really opportunities in life with a lot of stuff, you know you go out, like I just posted a video yesterday, like a man need to be a person that's going to take initiative, but that doesn't mean he can't attract things. That doesn't mean things can't come to him without him trying to get it. And I think you attract stuff based off of who you are and where you at emotionally. I think people that's very emotional, um they tend to try to just grab stuff, and they don't try to work on themselves a lot of times. Like, it's harder for them to just let stuff come, you know and I think with a man, when we become self-sufficient emotionally, and I think that's what senior attention is gonna do for every man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna make it where, okay, we don't have to have a girl, and we don't have to, you know what I'm saying, be around a whole bunch of people. We don't have to have a whole bunch of validation. We don't care about what people think. You get what I'm saying? That's showing signs of emotional self-sufficiency. Where we don't need all this stuff to feel good about ourselves, or to feel good in general. And I feel like when you can just feel good on your own by yourself, that's when, you know what I'm saying, a girl might come around and like you, or you might have more friends and stuff, people wanting to be around you more, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's a big thing about when it comes to attracting things. It's not, your emotional state has to be at a certain place where, okay, you don't care if, you don't have to be around everybody. You're not emotionally dependent on anybody. You're not emotionally dependent on having friends or having a girlfriend, or, you know what I'm saying? None of that stuff is gonna make you feel, it's like that stuff doesn't make you. You can feel happy all by yourself and just doing your own thing. I'm not saying that, okay, go and be alone your whole life, but I'm saying that in life we're gonna have seasons and points in our life where we are alone. And for a lot of us, we're gonna be alone most of our life. Not in a bad way, but I'm just saying, like, in general. So you have to be happy being by yourself. And that's why you have to have habits and hobbies in your life that you do, that you enjoy. You have to be expressing outwardly who you are as a person. You can't be restricting yourself and staying in the house all day and not doing anything. You have to go out and live your life, and it has to be congruent with who you are as a person. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when you can enjoy doing that, and that's all you need, that's gonna be, your emotions are gonna be self sufficient, which means you don't really need any other human being to fulfill that. And I think also, you know, probably the number one thing, a relationship with God is gonna help that. But a lot of times now, somebody have a relationship with God, but they still don't be doing what they want to do in life. You have to set life up where you're gonna do stuff you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna live a life that you're gonna enjoy. Because at the end of the day, people will tell you to work hard and be miserable, and, you know what I'm saying, just do it to pay your bills, and, just do it for the money. You don't need to slave away for money. You need to set stuff up where you're going to enjoy it, and it's going to give you a return on your investment, and you can do it every day even if you didn't get paid from it. You know what I'm saying? But we're in real life, so you want to make a living from what you like to do in life. You know what I'm saying? And when you can wake up and boom, do what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? You don't have, nobody ain't over you. You don't, all this other stuff that's kind of restricting you, and, it's just miserable. You know, that stuff is gonna hold you back because emotionally you're not gonna be in the right place. You're gonna be in a place you don't want to be, you know. But it's all about how you set up your emotions, man. And what you're gonna feed yourself on a day-to-day basis. And that's what I see is it's just very important. Like, you have to keep your emotions in a place where they have to be self-sufficient. And once they're self-sufficient, that's when stuff will come to you. You don't have to go out and chase that girl. You don't have to. And I'm not saying to go out there and show interest in girls and show that you like girls or whatever, or walk up and try to talk to a girl, cold approach girls. I'm not saying you can't do that, but what I'm saying is that even if a girl say no, you be straight. Even if a girl say yeah, you be straight. You get what I'm saying? So either way it go, you don't let it phase you. You just do it because you want to do it, and you know what I'm saying. You just being yourself at the end of the day. You ain't got to be the guy that's gonna boom like you cry if a girl reject you, or like you can't be that type of person. You know what I'm saying? And even though I still struggle with, like, even like previous times when I was in college and stuff, I still had a huge addiction to the websites and masturbation and all that. But I remember when I used to cold approach girls and stuff. I remember when I used to cold approach girls and stuff. I never got mad at her, even though, well, technically, if I'm being honest, a girl never really rejected me like straight up in my face. She'll just either stop texting me or some shit. I mean, let me. I don't want to cuss, or she'll either stop texting me or something, or something like that. I never really got like brutally rejected. Not saying that that's like, oh, I'm just handsome or whatever, but I'm just saying like, I couldn't really say nothing about it because I never really got rejected. But even if I did get rejected, like bad, or a girl responded bad, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, that's life, and just go on about your day, man. Like, that's what, when you can keep your emotions in check and somebody lashing out at you or whatever, and you can remain calm. Now, I do understand like somebody disrespecting you or something like that. It's just an extent. But if somebody being loud, bro, you can be calm. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to give them that same energy. You don't have to, because they want to get that energy out of you. They want to, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of times I feel like some people, they want to bark at you and make you kind of bow down. You know what I'm saying? But me, I'm the type of person that'll just walk away. You know, I just walk away. Yeah, man. That's what I think, bro. Like, in order to attract the right things in your life and stuff like that, you got to be emotionally self-sufficient. So you can be okay with your own life, with yourself. Just with yourself, and you don't really need anybody else. Whenever you can be happy alone, because come on, man, like, most people not happy alone. Most people not, because they be emotionally dependent on a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or they got a whole bunch of friends. I'm not saying either one. None of those things are wrong. None of those things are wrong. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you I feel like you in a place of power when you can be alone and be happy. You get what I'm saying? That's that's a blessing to be that way, because most people not like that. Even though, I even think to myself, like, you know what I'm saying? I consistently have had bad habits, so that's why I haven't been happy alone. I feel like once I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing by myself, I feel good alone. But whenever you doing stuff that you're not supposed to be doing, you need a girlfriend. You need a whole bunch of friends. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, you make that your whole life, or like, you just kind of, you get put in a place where you can't just be happy with yourself and how you feel about yourself. You know, because that's something you can't run away from. You have to fix that from the inside out. So yeah, man. I mean, that's pretty much all I got to say.